Hello, this is Matt.
Jose.
Mark.
Guillaume.
James.
Mel.
Zach.
This is David.
This is PSG Talking.
Le seul podcast sur le PSG en anglais.
Hello and welcome to another episode of PSG Talking. I'm your host Ed, coming to you live from the comforts of my car. We'll get into that maybe a little bit later. But before we start the show, I want to wish everyone listening a very happy and healthy new year. Now, joining me on today's pod are two longtime contributors. We have Guillaume and Matt. Guys, how's everything going?
Well, I'm over here on the Plague Island with our new strain of COVID and Brexit, so it's all going pretty well, thanks. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's just, I'm looking forward to talking about football and forgetting
At
about
least
the,
you're not
reality.
an Arsenal fan, so
Yeah, that's
could be
true.
worse.
Yeah, it could be worse.
2-game winning
worse,
streak,
yeah.
right? For them?
Yeah.
Things are turning
Yeah.
around.
wow.
Yeah.
And Guillaume, how are you?
I'm great.
Good?
Excited for this year. Just went through a crazy and magical year.
Mm-hmm.
Magical's not easy. Life is full of surprises and things happen. And, you know, I've been saying we're never surprised by Hollywood FC, Paris Saint-Germain. And then things happen again. And we still managed to be a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
And we got surprised again.
Yes, well, we're going to talk about the big surprise because the last time we recorded was literally the day before the news broke that Tuchel would be sacked and potentially Pochettino coming in, which still hasn't been officially announced. So let's just get into that news because both of you, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, were on the side of keeping Tuchel at least for the rest of the season for the duration of his contract. So now that decision has been made, is Pochettino, in your opinion, a better manager than Tuchel? What are your expectations for him? Are you optimistic, pessimistic? Guillaume, we can start with you.
What's a better manager? Tactically, no.
Mm.
I mean, a manager is way more than just tactics. It's man management, it's intuition, it's psychology, it's to know how to delegate, find the right staff, which is, you know, you're the head of your staff, but without your staff, you're nothing. You're absolutely nothing. And you see a manager like Didier Deschamps, he's not a tactical genius, you know, pretty straightforward with him. But the man management of Didier Deschamps, the way he understands players and guide them to what he wants without affecting who they are. I mean, it's art. He's incredible for this, and he's got that drive behind. Is Pochettino a better manager than Tuchel? I don't know. Tuchel has a side of him. I mean, he's flamboyant. He's not German. He's like Italian or something, or like Spanish even. I mean, there's a passion, like a flame in him. And in a big club, or a club that's trying to become a big club, with a very strong upper management. I wouldn't say very strong. It's like the boss is, you know, is Leonardo at Paris Saint-Germain. The real boss of everyday things. The money and the politics are one step above, with a strange man who's, you know, a little bit in the shadow where he should be now. Charismatic, but strange guy. So the boss is Leonardo, and if you give full powers to Leonardo, you give full powers to Leonardo. And if there's an aspect of the coach that is in the way, you're going to work with it until you can't. And I think that's probably what happened with Tuchel. The timing of him being laid off just before Christmas, like on Christmas Eve, I don't know if we can put too much into it. Maybe there's probably other reasons too.
Well, what do you
but-
make of that? Because apparently PSG didn't want that news to come out, but then it was leaked all in the German papers. So was this Tuchel and his camp trying to get ahead of the story? I mean, what do you make of the way the story broke? Because he wasn't officially sacked until, what was it, yesterday? We're recording on, January 1st, but it was only made official by the club recently, but we have known about it since, last week. So any issues there with the way the news broke?
I mean, the timing's dry, man. It's dry. But it'd be surprising if it was completely by design. Because I'm sorry, it's like a big fuck you, and you can't do that, and I don't think they have to Shell, because overall, I think he's done a great job at Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, the way they play is back to a very, very satisfying level. Not every game, of course, but now we feel confident. We have a team. We have a team, guys. We have a team. Again, it's a team. They can play as a team, and they may have more ups and more downs than, especially during the Blanc years, where it was which is interesting in a way, I even forgot the name of that Spanish guy.
Unai Emery.
He was so insignificant.
Yeah, he's just a blip on the PSG radar.
Insignificant. Anyway, he tried. He tried something. Maybe he started something. Whatever. Emery. Tuchel is the wave. The ups and the downs are higher. Even if the 6-1 was under Emery, but the Manchester game, was under Tuchel. But then we got used to see the team. Well, Neymar is a factor, sure. But we got used to see the team being able to have great games and destroy anyone, whoever you are. Barcelona has to be added to. Well, they've been crushed for now. Any team you can be any freaking team. We've seen Bayern, we've seen Barcelona, we've seen Real Madrid being crushed. Manchester was not destroyed, but the game we had over there, the previous encounter, was one of the most satisfying I've seen. So it's hard to know. It's a matter of, there's so many layers.
Are you optimistic at least? Are you pessimistic?
Yeah, I am.
You are? Okay.
He's a former player.
Yeah.
And he was loved.
Well, I'm gonna ask you a question about that. I've got specific questions based because Guillaume, you've been a PSG fan probably longer than any of us, and Matt being in the UK, I want to ask him a specific question. So don't touch too much on Pochettino being a former player. I'm going to ask you about that in a minute. Okay. But let's go over to Matt just real quick. Just overall impressions on maybe the way that the news broke, and optimistic, pessimistic. Is it the right move to make? Take any of those questions you want, Matt.
So first of all, on the timing, I know what you mean, Guillaume. It seems like completely cold, but at the same time, he's taking like 5 or 6 million euros away with him. That's quite a nice Christmas present. He probably knew that beyond the end of the season, it was unlikely he was going to continue anyway. So I doubt he is crying too many tears about the way this has ended, even if it was not a particularly classy way of doing things to let it leak out just before Christmas. Whether it's a good idea or not, I don't know. I think I think on your festive podcast, the well-timed one, I think it was James who said, you've got to change manager if you think now's your only chance to get Pochettino and you really want Pochettino. And I think it's pretty obvious Leonardo did not want Tuchel for any longer than he had to, which you can agree or disagree with. But I think I'm quite a fan of Tuchel and what he's done. I've been quite happy broadly with it. I think that he's probably the best coach we've had of the Qatari era so far. And I personally would have kept him for the rest of the season to see what he could do and whether we could build a bit of momentum. I think at the same time, he is obviously quite a feisty character. He has not really helped himself with some of his public utterances. So I think if you add that into the sort of the results in the league, which have been iffy, and the Champions League stuff, which started badly and obviously improved as we went through the group, I think you can see why they probably thought, oh, we might as well make the change now, get Poch nailed down, and before any of the other sort of big jobs become available, and he might sort of be tempted to look elsewhere. So I do understand it, but I'm a bit sad the way it's ended, really, and I would have liked to see Tuchel get the full season to see if he could go one better in the Champions League, because I don't think that was out of the question. And I think in terms of an actual coach, I'm not convinced it's an upgrade, to be honest. I think it remains to be seen whether it is, but clearly Pochettino is Leonardo's pick, so therefore, which I think is a point like Mark Damon makes quite often, that Leo's the boss, he needs to be able to work with these guys. So if that's what he wants, then that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
So both of you guys are kind of saying that Leo is kind of running the show here, and he is. Let's make no mistake about it. But he doesn't make this move unless Neymar and Mbappe sign off on it, right?
I disagree.
No, okay. You think he does whatever he wants and didn't really consult them that much?
It's a factor. But he's not going to go ask, hey, no. It takes. He knows what's up. There's one guy at Paris Saint-Germain who's kind of, well, I assume, in his staff, who's kind of the link between the players and the top, the management. And he has his ears there, and it's a factor, but he's not going to ask Neymar. He knows, I mean, I assume. And
it was interesting that Mbappe had that social media post where he, bid farewell to Tuchel well before the club had even announced he was officially let go. So maybe to your point, maybe they weren't really consulted that much. Matt, is that a problem? Your two biggest players who you're trying to sign to an extension, maybe you didn't get their opinion on that before making the decision?
I mean, I kind of agree with Guillaume. I don't think Leonardo's the kind of guy who would be asking the players what to do or seeking to get their blessing. But at the same time, Pochettino's got a good reputation. I think he's got, well, obviously we'll come on to him maybe in a bit, but I think he's got that kind of gravitas. So you're appointing a guy who's well respected in the game, who's done a lot as a player and sort of as a coach to an extent. So I don't think, it's not like we're appointing some like joker from the French league, like Elie Bopp or someone like that, or even like, do you remember that guy? I love that guy. He was so funny with his funny sportswear, his caps, and good times at Marseille. Always good for a laugh, aren't they?
Oh God.
Or like, even like a sort of, if it had been if we'd say appointed like Papas Camara, and got rid of Tuchel, then you could see why Neymar and Mbappe might think, well, he's never managed. This is, it's a bit tin pot sort of thing. But I think to get someone like Pochettino in, I think is a very respectable appointment. He's obviously very in demand, and I don't really see it as being a big factor for Neymar and Mbappe. Obviously, depending on how they get on with Pochettino when he arrives.
Well, these are the more location specific, and Matt, we'll start with you. Being in England, what is the general feel in the papers and what people are saying? I don't know if you know any Spurs fans. Are they pleased that he's getting this opportunity? Are people kind of down on it? Why is he going to, PSG and Ligue 1? And just what is the general feel from what you're hearing there? People are saying about this decision.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I know quite a lot of Spurs fans because I'm in Spurs fan territory where I live, which is quite annoying. They all loved him and weren't best pleased when the change happened. Although I think it was pretty obvious that he was going, but I think the way it kind of ended left a bit of a sour taste with a lot of them. I think that what the English media are like. They think that the Premier League's the best league in the world, and that anyone who would go somewhere else is an idiot. So I think they all thought that he was going to get the Man United job when Solskjaer eventually leaves. But so I think there's a bit of, I think people are quite jealous, to be honest, that PSG have got him. I think that people are quite impressed that we've got him, and a lot of people don't think it's a very good move for the normal reasons that people hate PSG sort of thing, which we don't need to go into on this podcast. They're entitled to their opinion, but they're very ill-informed opinions, if you ask me. So yeah, I think people think we've done well to sort of get him because he's been heavily linked with Man United, and then you look at the Arsenal job probably going to be available, maybe the Chelsea job, and as Real Madrid as well. So I think he's been linked to a lot of teams, and PSG probably haven't been top of the list, but we've obviously got in there first.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move, and like you said, Leo needed to make a decision because you wait till the end of the season, likely could have been scooped up by Arsenal or Manchester United.
That's what happened, I think.
Yeah,
it's like he's a hot prospect.
Yeah,
to me, it's Tuchel's level.
Yeah,
and the way he ended at Spurs is very similar to the way Tuchel ended at Paris Saint-Germain too. Reached the Champions League final, which was wonderful. But then they kind of melted physically and mentally. They had a terrible start of the league, and he got fired. And that, Tuchel has a similar story too. I wanted to say there's a little bit of a pattern here, though. So Tuchel getting fired in a very dry and cold way. Thiago Silva not being signed again, and like his departure was like, guys, it's Thiago Silva, it's El Monstro. He's been criticized, but then it's very easy to criticize, but then take a look a bit. Ask Chelsea fans right now what they think about him.
Cavani too.
And Cavani was next on my list too. That okay, but then there's Zlatan. I mean, Zlatan departure maybe compensates for these three other guys, but it was like, oh my God, it was like a Hollywood show. It was incredible. But maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's business. It's sports business,
yeah.
And it's a business, guys. There's a lot of money involved in it.
Well, and maybe not as much money right now, but yeah, still a lot.
Well, not maybe these 2 seasons, but yeah.
Well,
and for Paris, I'm sorry, I'm almost done. For Paris, there's more than just money. Qatar didn't buy Paris Saint-Germain, to making money, yes, of course, but there were other reasons, and they're very important for those guys. So, boom. Ouch. Hey, it's part of the business, the sport. It's hard. I'm sure Tuchel's ego took a hit.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a large ego. Pochettino's ego is a bit.
It didn't end great for him at Dortmund, and now it's kind of like it fizzled out here.
There's a pattern here too.
Yeah. But Guillaume, I did want to ask you, since you have been a fan for so long, what does it mean to you to have a former captain of the club now being the manager? Is there a special connection there? You have any different expectations for him in terms of love for the club and that sort of thing?
Of course. So he wasn't only a former player; he was captain of the team, which means like there's something about him. Like there's a leadership, a natural, and he hit the ground in Paris immediately. Stayed only 2 seasons, but there was something immediately with this guy, like love at first sight. I mean, like a match, like the chemistry was right. I mean, it's been a while, but that's my memory of it. And the fans, they just loved him. He had a vibe. Interesting guy as a player, as a coach. I don't know him, but you can feel, something similar. He's warm, but his ego doesn't seem to be a problem.
And he wants to be here. He wants to be here. Probably more importantly, like. He always said he wanted to come back to Paris and be a manager here. Yeah. Unlike another manager who would maybe just take the money, the chance to, coach Neymar.
Yeah, he's been in the air for a long time. I mean, he's been. And another thing that's kind of cute is the relationship between Tottenham and Paris Saint-Germain now. A lot of players coming their way and doing well there. And now one of their coach coming, and it's kind of nice. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive, but I think it's kind of nice. There's a good relationship here. I wish one of my dear friends is a hardcore Spurs fan, and he lives in a Bay too. And we've been expecting and waiting and hoping for Paris Saint-Germain, Tottenham Hotspurs in the Champions League, and that's my wish for the next season. Anyway, so maybe emotionally and because he's a bit lower key, he's very emotional and passionate on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
But
from what I've read, he requires from what I've read, he requires his players to work very hard on the pitch and in training as well, and so that'll be something nice. I think the players worked hard on the Tuchel, but I think it's just a different expectation now under Pochettino.
Yeah, of course. I mean, all those guys do, except Laurent Blanc. But Laurent Blanc is not at that level at all. And
Jean-Louis Gasset used to work hard bowler counts, so I'm not sure about older. Laurent would have a stroll down there and watch a bit of training.
Remember during the Blanc years, players were like, that's it? The training today? Really?
That's my kind of training. I could play for Laurent Blanc.
We organized a picnic for you with charcuteries and wine and pâté and Oh, okay. That was the Blanc year.
I love it. All right, so everyone's favorite topic. We got to talk about transfers. We got the January transfer market is officially open right now, and with Pochettino previously playing or managing Spurs, being in the Premier League, Dele Alli, you've had Christian Eriksen, Serge Aurier, our old friend. I even saw Wilfried Zaha. Someone tweeted out that Pochettino wants him to be his first signing. So what are your expectations, not maybe in the summer, but like this transfer window right now? What are your expectations in January now that we, hopefully announce Pochettino maybe tomorrow? What do you think, Matt?
It's probably my horror having to talk about transfers. I'm not expecting too much to happen during this window. I think we signed a lot of players in the summer, and while I'm sure Poch would like to make some changes early, I'm not sure how possible that's going to be. I think the fullbacks, based on what I've seen of Pochettino when he was at Spurs, I think the fullbacks are going to be quite crucial. I remember when they were at their real peak under him, he had 4 fullbacks that he'd rely on, and he basically changed them every game because he made them work so hard. They were so crucial to what he did. And you look at our fullbacks and you're like, I don't think this is a straight.
Still, Mitchell Bacher's going to be dead on the pitch.
What about the fullback? What about our fullbacks? What's wrong with our fullbacks?
Well, he's going to see Kazawa and he's going to be like, who are you, mate? What am I supposed to do with this? So no, I think I think that's a real key. I think that's a real key
I was
thing
joking.
for him. Yeah, I know. So I think that I'm sure he'll be looking to make changes there. Whether that's something which will happen in January, I don't know. But I think that's something which it needed to change anyway. But I think particularly now we're having this manager, if he's going to play in a similar way, it's going to be really, really vital for us to make some changes there. But
I mean, people have opinions about Serge Aurier. Fine, fair, Periscope incident, but I think he's a good right back. I mean, physically he can run. He can do what Pochettino would probably require. Florenzi, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to have him back. I like Serge Aurier. He's fun to watch, but he's not reliable, is he? He's just he's never really kicked on. I remember when he was at Toulouse, I was like, oh, he's basically got everything, but he just hasn't got it upstairs. He hasn't got the football brain. A bit like Kazawa, actually. You look at him physically, or Kazawa at least used to have everything, and I was like, he's going to be a proper top 5 player in his position. And I think Aurier's got all the tools to do that as well, apart from the mentality.
Aurier was for a few months. He was incredible. He was on the
but he's gotten older. He's more mature now.
That's true, actually. I mean,
because I was too.
Yeah, I mean that's
never with Paris.
Yeah. What do you think?
Also,
go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to say I'd be quite happy if Aurier came back, but I don't think that I wouldn't be expecting him to change our team. That's for sure.
Fair enough. Guillaume, are you expecting maybe a Christian Eriksen, someone come in, create in the midfield? I think maybe you can get some of these players on a loan at least. I mean, do you think anything's going to happen?
A loan, sure, we'll take a loan, but
Yeah.
do we need Eriksen? I love. Listen, I love Christian Eriksen. He's a beautiful player. We don't really need Eriksen. We don't need Aurier. We definitely do not need Dele Alli. God damn it, no.
You wait till we link with Eric Dyer. I'll tell you, that'll be like.
Oh,
I think that's going to be the
Step
name of this
away.
podcast. No, we don't need Dele Alli, damn it.
I mean, if there's one player from Tottenham that I would love to see come, it's Ndombele, but forget about it. It's too precious. It's like, he's one of the hottest prospects for players in midfield on the world market.
What about Harry Kane? Doing a Cardi for Kane swap deal?
I'm talking about reasonable. Harry Kane is an incredible player. His style is not really that spectacular, even if he can be, but in the game, I mean, he's back to his prime, and look what's happening at Tottenham. It's like the key to everything else. He's incredible. He's a phenomenal player. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. No, Kane, sure. No, but the rumors were like, Dele Alli, blah, 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 like players that don't cost much money and, because they are almost at the end of their contract. And well, these are hints. There's still a crazy rumor. Oh, if Pochettino comes, means Messi is going to come. Why? But because they speak Spanish. Yeah, that's true. That's because they speak Spanish. But there's still that Messi rumor.
Yeah. We'll see in the summer. He's going to wait till the last minute.
It's not going to happen in January.
Yeah, we don't want to have to pay a transfer fee for him.
But who knows? It's a crazy year. It's a crazy year in a crazy club that has crazy finances. Both the amount and how these guys they are and how they fine tune and go through the rules, and you never know. But I don't feel it. I don't smell it. But I did not feel or smell the Tuchel story. So who the hell am I to give my opinion anyway?
I'm hoping that the club, as I'm looking forward, there's reports that on how Di Maria may not be kept on and he wants to talk with Pochettino. Could you bring in a player like Zaha, thinking down the road he would be the heir apparent to Di Maria? Maybe.
The heir apparent to Zaha?
Yeah.
I don't.
Di Maria?
Why not?
Because he's not. He's half the player of what?
Have you seen Di Maria this season?
Have you seen Di Maria? Look, here we go again. Talking about criticize Di Maria.
Where's Kosei?
Look at the
We need
stats.
Kosei back.
Look at the stats. Look at the stats. Season after season after season. Look at the important games. With Paris Saint-Germain, with Argentina, who scored that unbelievable goal against France?
Yeah.
Who scored that unbelievable goal against Napoli? How many assists at crucial moments?
But we can't look in the past. That's when you turn into Arsenal. You can't look in the past. We have to look forward. You can't say, "Oh, the Invincibles."
I'm looking forward to more assists, more incredible, crafted, beautiful crosses with his. He's got 3 hands. His left foot is a hand. He's unbelievable. Sometimes he's catastrophic. That's part of the package.
All right, you
And
twisted
if you
my
know
arm.
how
We'll
to
bring in
manage
Messi
him-
then.
If you know how to manage him in a team, and he's got a seat at Paris Saint-Germain, he's got a role. He can come from the bench, and he's accepted. He's still unbelievable. No, don't.
Talking
Keep
about
it.
catastrophic and Di Maria, we need to talk about his Instagram post from Christmas. I don't know if either of you guys saw this.
No, what did it
but
say? Fill us in.
What he was wearing. It wasn't offensive. It was more what he was wearing. Just like go and check it out. Just these dreadful jeans and like these bright red trainers. And his wife was dressed like an air hostess. She had like a red like blazer, a red skirt, and it was just weird. Like so weird. Go and look it up. Like when this podcast finished, listeners, because you just think you've got all that money. Just like pay someone to like advise you on how to dress,
Yeah.
man.
That's a lot of red.
No, I don't
mean,
think he cares.
Di Maria
he's a
to
player.
Manchester.
It was very festive.
His apartment in Paris is like Louis the 16th. Very old Parisian wood work with golden painted, with like a chandelier, and here he is in like sweatpants, with the
Anyway,
I love him. I love him so much.
I think that Zaha is not a good replacement for Di Maria,
No.
and I think that we shouldn't be buying players like that because he's not young. He's like 28. He's probably at the peak of where he'll be, and he's the best player at Crystal Palace, which is great. Like, he's a good player. He's an exciting player to watch, but he is not going to improve at PSG. He's not going to win us the Champions League. So I think we should steer away from those kind of players wherever possible. And if you're going to replace Di Maria, to look to someone younger who's got room to improve, basically. I don't know who that is. I haven't got any names. But
there's a guy I've seen him at Marseille. Oh, he's breaking up.
Matt, we're losing you. We're losing you a little bit here.
I step in with and I shut up when he's back.
Okay.
Ooh,
man,
my back.
We got it back. We got it back.
You got to start from scratch.
Yeah.
We didn't hear any of it.
Okay. You didn't hear any. Well, where did I get to?
You talk so much and so long for so long. I don't know.
I talk such a load of nonsense. I think I was basically saying that Zaha is not. I got to my thing of Zaha is not a good signing for us. Mm-hmm. But I was just going to say that on a more general level, these kind of players that we're talking about, I think goes to one of the question marks I have about Pochettino, which is that his team at Spurs was very much quite a low key squad. There was no real big stars. Like Harry Kane's the biggest star, but he's a bit of a special case because he is a Tottenham player who came through a bit out of nowhere, and he's obviously fairly low maintenance in terms of his ego and stuff. So I think that's the big question mark for me over Poch, is how he can handle the big players, whether he can get them to buy into his thing, and also then if he gets foisted with another expensive player next summer or what have you, will he be able to integrate them? Will he just be like, yeah, okay, I can work with this, or will it sort of upset the vibe he's going for if he's got Leonardo, doing what Leonardo does all the time? So I think it'll be interesting in the next couple of windows to see who we get and whether they're obviously guys who Poch has sort of had a lot of say in, or whether he's just having to work with what he's being given, basically.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Can he handle the celebrities at PSG? Two celebrities. Yeah, I kind of do want to switch gears away from Pochettino slightly. ESPN's Julien Laurens, he recently stated that currently no club can really afford Neymar and Mbappe. And so in terms of the Frenchman in particular, how do you see this whole situation playing out with the new manager coming in? We know PSG are trying to get him to sign an extension. If no other club can afford him and he won't sign an extension, do you see PSG trying to have to sell him for way below what he's actually worth? I mean, how do you see this playing out from now, I guess, through the summer? I guess by the time next season begins, we should know if he's signed or if we have to sell him, right? Anybody want to take that one?
I think, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you go, Guillaume. Sorry, I've talked to.
Oh no. Okay. Sure. So the Neymar negotiations are on the way, and rumors are okay. It's going well. Neymar wants to stay. We can say that he feels good at Paris Saint-Germain. We can see it, guys. I mean, at every level. He's a weird guy. But he's a package. He'd be a normal doop. He probably wouldn't play like that. So I'm very confident with Neymar. I mean, it's going great with Neymar. It wasn't always the case. Do you agree with me? He feels comfortable. Yeah. He's like part of the team. His behavior has changed. He tracks back. He's like, oh my God, he tries to, and sometimes he can't and gets frustrated. But he's like a completely different. A very different player.
He's done a complete 180 from the summer of 2019 when he wanted to leave. He wanted no parts of PSG, and now he's like, I think we're like a game or two away from him kissing the badge.
That'd be nice. Mbappe is such huge business. I mean, Mbappe is. He needs a good Champions League season because he's not at his top form and he needs to come back and do what he does and he will. Who else in the world at this point? Messi and Ronaldo are 47. Neymar is at Paris Saint-Germain. Who else? Who else at the star power, the X factor of Mbappe? Nobody is worth, I don't know,
300 million.
400 millions. Yeah. But nobody can pay that. And now we're coming to that zone of end of contract. But then your Mbappe is like, well, nobody can afford me. Living on a free.
That would be devastating. You just, you can't let that happen.
Yeah, but then if you give him Neymar's contract, or you extend him for 1 year, and you give him a biblical contract, which Paris can do. It's a good compromise for him. It's like, all right, extend me a year. Give me 30 million a year. Boom, here it is. Okay. Then, yeah, you take the money, man. You take the money.
Those were Mark Damon's demands for another contract with PSG Talk.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just kidding.
Good luck. Give him, take the money. We see the Mbappe-Neymar relationship, and it's beautiful to watch. It's incredible on the pitch, off the pitch. You can tell Mbappe's pretty darn comfortable at Paris Saint-Germain. He's just turned 22, I think. 22. Then 23, still young. 24, still young. 25, oh, okay. 26. I mean, he's got a whole career ahead of him. And he's smart enough to change his gameplay, the way he plays, rather, I'm sorry, when he's a little older. I mean, whatever. He's got time. He knows it. He's got also parents that are both ex-professional athletes and understand the career, understand the evolution of a career, and probably are exceptional at timing, also the timing of your career. It'd be very surprising if the club cannot extend him and then sell him for enough gold to make King Solomon blush. And yeah, sure.
I like it. Matt, how do you see the Mbappe situation playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I think Guillaume's summed it up really nicely there. I think that I'm kind of more confident. I'm pretty confident that they're both going to sign new contracts. So I don't know how much longer Mbappe will stay around, but I'd easily see him sticking it out for another, 1 or 2 seasons, because even on a free transfer, it's a lot of money. Like, who's got that? Like, even the Premier League clubs, with FFP and stuff, are going to struggle to accommodate what he'd be asking for, and then the signing on fees and all the other stuff on top of it. So I think the market for him, for clubs where he'd consider it to be an upgrade, because I don't know what you guys think, but like someone like Man United, is he going to go to Man United over PSG? I mean, I think it's unlikely, really, because it's not on a sporting level. That's not giving you what you need, is it? It's got to be one of the real top teams.
Oh yeah.
And who's in for him? And I'm not sure there's anyone. So I'm pretty, in terms of Neymar, I've always been fairly confident he'll sign a new contract. Because Barcelona is really the only place he could go, and they seem to be in a bit of a shambles. And like you said, I think he seems quite happy, which is good to see. And obviously he's enjoying his 500-day party at the moment, or whatever it is. So probably come back from that in a good mood.
He's not happy.
He's
not at the party.
I saw his people were like, no, it's all made up. It's all made up. So no, I'm hopeful that Mbappe will stay. I think that he seems quite happy, and Guillaume said it pretty well. He's quite level-headed. I think he can see the benefits of hopefully a couple more years at PSG before hopefully the world is a bit more normal again, and then Real Madrid and people like that are in the race for him. Whereas I don't think they are at the moment, really.
All right, guys. My battery in my computer is dying here in the PSG Talking Studios in my car. So I got one more question for you that I want to ask. You know, everyone in the new year makes a resolution, whether it's lose weight or learn a new skill, whatever it is. So what would be your resolution for PSG this year? Guillaume, do you have one?
Yeah, we win the Champions League.
That's a good one.
Just win the freaking Champions League.
Just win one. We're not being greedy. We just want one.
No. We start with one.
Yeah.
No.
We'll worry about more later down the road. What about you, Matt? Oh, you're breaking up on us again.
Internet connection. Better internet
internet connection.
It's like
We can hear you. Oh, no.
Is this part of Brexit? Now that you guys have left, has the internet gone down?
Say again.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's getting worse since Brexit. Literally, like, it's only been a few hours and we're already getting cut off from the rest of the world.
Oh.
Like, well, with COVID as well. France literally shut the door on us the other day. They were like, "You can't come over. There's too much COVID."
Oh.
Yeah.
I think Canada did that to us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, well, anyway, let's not go down that road. This is a good topic for me. I like this one.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution: no more Jordan kits. Like, stop it. Like, I like the Jordan gear. Like, keep that going, but just not kits, because it just always goes badly when they wear those. So I'd say that would be my thing. Just stick to football, leave the basketball.
So you think, like, when they wear those kits, it's like a bad result? Because it was the black Jordan kit when we got beat 6-1.
Yeah, I just think it's problematic, all those things. I think it might be a hoodoo. I think Michael Jordan might have used all his good luck in his amazing career. So that, and I think that's all really. Yeah, winning the Champions League is a good one as well, though.
Yeah, Jordan hasn't done much since his playing days, I got to say, with the Charlotte. Are they Bobcats now, or what are they? Hornets. Charlotte Hornets. He hasn't been a good owner. They haven't really done much.
He owns the team, right? Okay, yeah. Right.
I think Michael Jordan's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, financially he's doing great. So
talk for Michael Jordan's.
For me, my resolution for PSG would be to train smarter, rest, get plenty of rest, and just be healthier overall. Just stop with so many injuries. Hopefully Pochettino can come in, bring in his own guys, and a priest, whatever they need to stay healthy, please. That's what we need in 2021. Guys, this has been a great podcast. Thank you so much for your insight. Guillaume, how can people find you on Twitter if they want to say hello?
As usual, on Off the Door 1 on Twitter.
And then Matt, how about you?
For the duration of time I'm still connected to the internet, at PSG Tourist, I'll be there. So yeah, come at me.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm always at PSG Talk. This has been a great episode. I'm sure Mark Damon and myself will record a 1970 podcast to talk about maybe when Pochettino is officially announced. Mark is losing it on Twitter. He wants to know why the club has not announced it yet. So anyone at the club,
state of affairs, isn't it?
If you could just please make the announcement official so Mark can calm down, it would be greatly appreciated. All right, let's get out of here. Thanks to everyone for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Cheers. Bye-bye.